Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Evan Knox, and I'm the CEO and founder of Bullseye Web Designs. How many times have you gone online only to find that your favorite store or brand does not have a website? The answer for many people is a lot. As a matter of fact, 58% of small businesses do not have a website. That's where my business, Bullseye Web Design, steps in. We provide a service that answers to the three main objections to having a website. Our service is quick, easy, and affordable. We provide an affordable yet professional website design alternative to traditional website design companies. We have several main opportunities. Our first comes in that we approach our clients. Let me just walk you through the process of a sale from start to finish. I'm going to go online and verify that the business that I want to build a website for does not currently have a website. I'm going to go into their location and get a sense of their style. I'm going to build them a sample website and return to them within the next 3 to 5 days and sell them that sample website on the spot. This is quick, easy, and affordable for my client because all they have to do is supply me with the text and we can launch later that day. I'm also charging hundreds of dollars less than my competitors. I have a recurring revenue pricing strategy, so instead of having to fight to reach income marks from previous months, all I have to do is build upon my existing annuity. The scalability of my business is excellent, and I can easily grow my business to having thousands of clients. And finally, I have a proven concept. I've been running my business successfully for almost 6 months. I'm a service business that is currently a sole proprietorship. However, I would like to become an LLC sometime this summer. My qualifications include 6 years of advanced computer experience, using programs such as Bloomberg, Excel, and Photoshop. 2 years of website design experience, helping small businesses grow their business by the means of a website, and some programming experience. Here's my market analysis of Charleston County. So I found the total population of Charleston County, which is 350,000 people. I found that there are 24,000 businesses in Charleston County. I applied my statistic that 58% of those would not have a website to find that there are an estimated 14,000 businesses in Charleston County without a website. And note that this does not include the businesses without an adequate website. Ideally, my client is a business owner that understands the value of a web presence. However, that is not 100% necessary. Here's my competitive advantage compared to 2 of my local competitors, Charleston Webweaver and Palmetto Live. As you can see, I'm charging my clients both an initial and a monthly fee. Also note the plus next to the $19.99. What that means is that depending on the size of my client's website, they could potentially be paying me more than that amount each month. On an upfront scale, I'm significantly less than both of my competitors. And on a monthly scale, I'm on par with my competitors. Note that the quality ratings are from a survey of about 30 different people. And as I said, my main unique factor is in my marketing strategy. Because I'm going out to my clients, I'm able to reach the type of business owner that's very focused and engulfed on running their own business and doesn't have the time or expertise to go out and find someone to build a website for them. And here's a little sample of my portfolio. All the judges, this is the same as your printout. Once again, as I said, my main advantage is in my promotion. Because I'm going to my clients, it's not 100% necessary that they know who I am when I sell them my product. So I don't have to spend nearly as much on promotion as my competitors. Here's my promotional mix. I spend $40 per month between my website, Google AdWords advertising, and social networking. I spend $50 per month on flyers and a mailing. So that mailing, that's the cost of one mailing, which I would do each year, to about 1,000 different clients divided by 12, since this is a monthly promotional expense. And I spend $4 per month on business cards. My only material is an HTML template, and for my labor, I estimate that it takes me about 2.5 hours to build each website. I pay myself $20 per hour, bring my labor cost per unit to $50. And that brings my total cost of goods sold to the same $50. Here are the economics of one unit. To make it a little bit simpler to understand, I broke it down into 2 different pieces, the initial and the monthly payment. My initial selling price per unit is $199. After $50 variable or cost of goods sold, my contribution margin initially is $149. On a monthly scale, I'm charging my clients $19.99 and up per month. I have no variable expenses associated with that, bringing my total contribution margin on a monthly scale to the same $19.99 and up per month. Here are my average monthly fixed expenses. I spend $94 per month on advertising and $120 per month between all of my utilities. And those aren't my actual costs because I currently have my parents pay for my internet and my electricity, so those are estimated numbers. And my other fixed expense, is my hosting. I spend $20 per month on hosting, and that covers all of my websites. Bring my total average monthly fixed expense to $234. Here's my projected yearly income statement for my first year. My estimated total revenue is $9,920. My estimated net profit after various expenses and taxes is $4,600. Here are my monthly income projections for my first year. So what I did is I have my total projected sales for each month, and that's in the blue, and my recurring revenue is in the red. So you can see my recurring revenue is constantly growing over time, and my total projected sales are growing over time. However, I do have a larger increase during the summer months when I have the most time to dedicate to running my business. My startup investment is $500 for a computer and $120 reserved for fixed expenses, which would be 6 months of hosting for all of my websites. My return on sales, 46%. My return on investment, 742%. All of the money to finance my business is from my personal savings. My business responsibility is to provide new opportunities to small businesses by the means of a website. And for my philanthropy, at the end of each year, I will be donating 5% of all profits to the Global Business School Network. And that is an organization that funds business schools in developing countries. Here are some of my business and personal goals. My business goals are to consistently grow my business by signing up 3 to 4 new clients per month. And also, I would like to expand further into graphic design. Currently, I outsource that work, and if I win the seed money today, I would like to be able to go out and take a class myself to offer those services in-house, which would allow me to increase my margins. As an exit strategy, I would like to franchise my business plan and collect monthly from franchisees. Some of my personal goals are to attend college and expand my knowledge on running a business. I would also like to do a website design internship with a larger website design company to see how I could increase efficiency and margins within my own business. Once again, my name is Evan Knox from Bullseye Web Designs, and remember, we do things differently. Thank you. So can I answer any questions for any of you?
You said that you've been running this business for 6 months. Do you find it hard to get in front of the stakeholders or decision makers when you go back to sell the product?
Generally, it's pretty easy. So a lot of times, I'm initially going to send an email or a phone call. A lot of times, at least for the time being, it's been businesses where I kind of recognize the owner, places that I've gone to a lot, and that was kind of how my idea started. It was recognizing that people didn't have a website. So as I expand over time, I'm hoping that I'll still continue to recognize owners from when I first go in to kind of see the business. But to date, that hasn't really been a problem.
Evan, you're charging $20 a month. That's for hosting?
So yeah, I'm charging my clients that $20 for hosting and for just kind of upkeep of their website to make sure that it's still running smoothly and they're not having any speed or loading issues or anything like that.
And what happens when somebody wants to make a change to their website? They want to add text, they want to add photos, add video. How are you going to charge for that?
So that's a great question. So for post-design labor, I'm charging $20 per hour. So I have a minimum of 2 hours labor for all post-design charges. So basically, I'm guaranteed to be making $40 on that post-design work. And the idea behind that is that I'm not going to get stuck doing a bunch of minuscule tasks for my clients. So I'm going to be guaranteed to, if I do have to do a small task, be making a fair amount of money for it.
What is your capacity? You mentioned you hope to have 34 clients by the end of the year. What's your individual capacity before you have to start looking to hire somebody else?
To be perfectly honest, if I wanted to grow my business myself over time, I could do that because of the way the hosting is set up. basically after I build their website, 90% of my clients don't ask for any changes, and it's just kind of collecting monthly from them. However, I would like to bring on someone within the next year, hopefully, to be able to increase my output, and then I would be able to focus on the sales, and they would focus on the design.
How are you collecting monthly? Are you sending bills, or do you have a recurring charge?
So currently, I'm sending invoices and requesting cash or check. However, over the next month, I am planning to change that. I'm looking at a few different options for collecting credit cards, and the main holdup for that has really been in that it's difficult to find programs that will do a monthly recurring charge. So I'm trying to find the right program to be able to do that.
You mentioned that you're going to build spec websites for people and then present them a sample of their website and hope that they buy. Do you have any idea what your conversion rate will be? How many sample websites are you going to create that nobody's going to buy?
To date, it's about 80 to 85%. So pretty high, higher than you would expect. But part of that is because before I go in and target a client, I'm going to make sure that they don't have a web presence, and I'm going to try to kind of seed out the people that I feel would really benefit from a website. So when I go in, I have a very strong pitch to say this is why you should have it.
Are there certain industries that you're targeting to send the specs out that have a better conversion rate, i.e. like restaurants versus convenience stores?
So far I've mostly focused on cafes and restaurants. However, I am looking to expand further into the Charleston market. Obviously there are a ton of vendors there, and I'm assuming that most people here have been there.